Dewi, well, first of all, great win on the weekend. What clicked for you against Glasgow?
Yeah, it's nice to obviously get a W on the board after two results that probably haven't gone our way in the first 3 games.
Recording in progress.
I think we just we took our opportunities better than we had in the first 2. You look back to that Lions game. There's a lot of chances that probably went bag in there. Could have been quite a comfortable game for us, and obviously in the end they've come back and stolen a win, and credit to them for staying in that match. But yeah, I think we took our opportunities. We got a bonus point that those 4 tries are massively needed for us, and I'd say that was the difference.
And really, it was far closer than it maybe should have been in the end.
Yeah, I think obviously you look at the opposite side of that, Glasgow not taking their opportunities until that last 10 minutes where they scored 2 tries in quick succession. But we've been on the receiving end of that as well. So credit to the boys who started in the match. Their defence stuck out well. Tuaplot, who's a dangerous player at 13, and they handled him through the game. And Keelan popping up with 2 great tries, 2 good finishes, and sometimes that's how the game goes. You take your opportunities and the opposition don't, and you end up on the good end of the scoreboard.
I think it's fair to say tries have been a problem in the last few years. How that seems to have improved, how much emphasis has been on that in terms of, because bonus points are also crucial, aren't they?
Yeah, look, I think we've created those opportunities for ourselves in the past couple of years. It's just been about finishing them. Through the first 3 matches now, we've looked like we're finishing our opportunities when they come to us. Our driving maul has always been a threat. We've always had tries off the back of that, but backs interlinking now and finishing tries in the corner, we're seeing a lot. Obviously Keelan is, I think, 4 tries or 5 tries in 3 games now, and I think we are taking our opportunities better than we have in the past, and that's been a big difference for us.
Ulster, they've won 2, lost 1. Always a tough proposition out there, even if a few are absent, because the emerging island side are out in South Africa. Yeah,
look, they're a dangerous team. They thrive on momentum and getting across that gain line. Obviously Billy Burns controls a lot from 10, and we know they're a dangerous team, especially up there. That Ulster crowd really gets behind them, sort of their 16th man, and we're going to have to take it to them up there if we want to turn them over and get a result.
Personally, have you coming on from the bench, how has it been for you? Obviously you had a busy summer as well, coming off the back of South Africa. Personally, how's it going with you?
Yeah, it's going all good. Look, we've got a brilliant crop of hookers here. We've got 4 incredible players that we drive each other. It's that healthy competition, I like to call it, and Baldwin's been playing brilliantly. He's not really put a foot wrong, and so I can't help that sometimes, but still being involved, being able to try and make an impact off that bench is a big part of the game now, and so when you're called upon in that 60th minute to do a job, you've got to be ready to do it. It's obviously nice to be able to get a start this weekend and probably be able to do it from minute 1, hopefully. So I'm looking forward to it.
And how's it been having a full squad, a full complement of players? I mean, I think you can't underestimate that last year, George coming back, and more to the point, Justin Tipuric.
Yeah, it's always good to have that experience back, and look, boys like Tips and George, you can't really replace them. Their experience and what they bring to the table for us has been amazing to have them back, and I think obviously we've seen it through the first couple of games. So yeah, whoever puts on the jersey though, we're always looking to get a result. But it's been brilliant to have that experience back. Obviously Tips as captain this year, really bringing energy back into the team.
you've got you mentioned your three hookers at the Ospreys, Scott, Sam, well, plus Elvis, of course, but crikey, at a Wales level as well, the competition is really fierce now, isn't it? I worked it out, at least 7 hookers are pushing for autumn series places.
Yeah, it's obviously it's good competition, and I think that's what you want. You know, especially as a country for Wales, you want people to select from. You know, you want more options. You don't want it to be, you know, like little numbers you have to pick from. It's great here that we've got, like I said, four good boys that they've got to pick from, and we're always pushing each other, and it is that healthy competition. Obviously we don't see what the boys in other regions are doing, but you know, we've got it here, and you know what boys are trying to achieve, and so you push each other to get that goal. But yeah, it's always brilliant to have you know, plenty of players, because it drives me to be better, it drives Baldwin to be better, it drives Sam to be better, Elvis to be better. So yeah, that healthy competition is crucial.
How long, Dewi, have you been playing at hooker now? How many years?
5 now, maybe? No, 4 or 5, I think.
What were you beforehand? A back rower?
Back rower, yeah.
8 or flanker?
6, I was 6.
Right. So I read somewhere a few years ago that your first game at hooker was for skewing against Trebanos.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
I think you said at the time it was quite tasty up there.
Yes. Yeah, it was. I think obviously nice rivalry there. So I went with Skewin and Paul and Kevin James up there, obviously being in the academy here. So yeah, first couple of games of hooker was for Skewin, and the first one was against Trebanos. So local derby, few little punches being thrown in the scrum. So that was a sort of nice snap to reality, like, oh, this is what I'm in for. But no, obviously Skewin was a great time for me. I think 5 or 6 games I had up there, and great group of lads, and yeah, did actually do a lot for me.
And that switch or conversion, if you like, you know, you've never regretted it, Dewi? You enjoy playing in the front row? Yeah,
no, of course I can't regret it. You know, it's gotten me to where I am, and the people who have put work into me over the years, I'd forever be grateful for. But look, I don't think I'd be in the position that I am if I had stuck to the back row. You know, obviously hard work, you could argue, might have got me there, but you know, I've not got the height really. I can't jump. You know, I think I'd be tough to lift in a line out. But no, obviously no regrets at all.
So you came up against a player who's being classed as arguably the best hooker in the world in the summer, in Malcolm Marx. What are your reflections on that experience? And did you have a chat with him after any of the games?
Yeah, we chatted after. We went into each other's change room after like all 3 games really. I don't think going into the game you ever think, you know, oh, he's the best, you know, what am I coming up against? I think for me it was, there was a lot of focus on myself and what I needed to do off the bench. Obviously it was a big test. I think obviously there's always that respect for your opposition. You know, there was no sort of like, no, I don't really care who he is. Obviously I knew who he was, but there was a lot of focus on myself and doing what I needed to do rather than worrying about what he might do, because I think, you know, the game can get away from you thinking that way sometimes. And as I've said previously, there was a lot of focus on us as a team, going out there and just focusing on ourselves and not worrying about what they were going to throw at us. We were going to be the ones to throw punches at them. But yeah, it was obviously brilliant to chat to him after as well and sort of pick his brain a bit.
So I mean, you're fortunate in a way. You know, you've got Jonathan Humphreys coaching you with Wales as a former hooker himself. Toby's a former hooker as well. You've got Duncan, a front rower. These guys, I'm guessing, are really sort of helping you progress.
Yeah, definitely. Look, they all they've been in the sort of position that I'm in previously, so they can hand down experiences and and sort of little tips and tricks to me, but they are just great blokes in general as well. They're easy to go up to and chat to if I feel like I need that chat, or any sort of anything I want to ask. They're always there, especially at the start with Dunks. Dunks has been with me from the original transition to hooker. So that relationship that we've got, it has been massive for me, really. Being able to go up to him and just have him there has been massive. And now obviously Humphs more recently, just helping out with sort of the hooker side of things in terms of that, and his experience and what he's been able to give to me as well. But obviously, outside of that, the coaching that I've received in general, like I mentioned earlier, Paul James when we were up in Skewin, and there's been others at little clubs, Hooker Summer Swansea. Everyone does play a part, but yeah, they have been big for me.
What was Paul like up at Skewin?
Brilliant. He was forwards coach at the time when I was up there, but I think he was still playing with the Ospreys, so it was sort of time out of his night on a Tuesday and Thursday. But yeah, he was brilliant coach. Obviously knows his stuff. But it was more around the sort of the mindset stuff of being in the front row that he taught me. And what it was like, what it took to be up there.
When you're at the Ospreys now, we mentioned your rivals, if you like, but do you help each other as well?
Yeah, of course. I think we're always battling, obviously, but at the end of the day, on the Saturday we're all one team. So I think we're always trying to help each other out here and there. If something goes wrong or goes right, we say well done, or we say maybe try this. Obviously that competition's there. I want to start, Baldwin wants to start, Sam wants to start, we all want to be involved. But we are all one team here, and I think we do drive that. So there is that's what I call a healthy competition. Is of course we're all driving each other on, but at the end of the day, we want each other to do well as well.
Yeah, last question from me really. Toby was saying a couple of weeks ago, that he'd noticed 100% progression in your game over the last year. Are you sort of happy, with the progress that you've made? You've broken into the Wales setup, and yeah. Yeah,
obviously you're always happy with progress, and I can't say that I'm not happy with being able to break into that Welsh team, but at the same time I don't think you can ever be comfortable. I'm not the finished article, I don't think anyone ever is, so there's always room to progress, there's always work to do. Of course I'm happy with progression that I am making, but for me it's just continuing it and being better again, not getting too comfortable and not being happy.
What's it like to play in a side with Alan Wynne?
He's Alan, he's brilliant to play with. He's one of the best to ever do it in Wales, and our most capped player. But we still got each other's backs. We're all still the same team.
Just lastly for me, Mark talked to you there about the summer and the breakthrough over the last year with Wales. Has that derby changed life for you? It's obviously, we all saw lots of pictures of you around in the papers and so forth over the summer. Are you getting people recognising you more now? Are you getting stopped in the street? People wouldn't say well done or not well done? How has life changed?
I wouldn't say it's changed too much. Obviously, it's still just myself, and if I do see people and they do ask for a photo, of course, I'm happy to give it. But no, I wouldn't say life has changed too much. Still working away, and as I said earlier, trying to not be satisfied and get, the push now is to get into the autumn squad and further, obviously. But no, I wouldn't say life has changed for me too much.